painting also the possibility to speak out about about how you as an artist, as a person, think about the world and think about art. And that's what I do. That's why I believe that you can use the art of painting to speak out in a more specific way, more elaborate way than just speak out in shapes and colors. It doesn't have to be always traditional in painting.
Now, when we think of painting, a lot of times we think of painting in the context of just aesthetic beauty or appreciation or an experience that we get at a transcending experience. Do we need a theory to understand your art?
It's not necessary to approach my painting. You don't need a theory in that way that you have to study my paintings first before you look at them. But it can help. It will help. I believe that everyone can have his own aesthetic experience by understanding the transition between the subject and the representation in a painting. So if you look at my paintings, you can try, if you want, to understand what I was going to represent. So, and in order to understand that, you have to first to look at the titles. There's an explanation in the titles. So I can illustrate that in one of my paintings, which is hanging over there on the wall, and maybe we can close that interview then with this explanation. What do you think?
You know, I paint myself. Oftentimes, when I'm looking at a canvas, it's just I have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do with it, and then I start drawing, and something kind of grows out of that. But yours looks much more like you have it kind of in mind when you go to the canvas. Is that right, or what?
Not exactly, David. While I am at my studio, I have certain ideas, like the idea of what is the future of art. So, and I took up this idea, and this painting was, so to speak, while I was working, I was thinking about what I said before, a diagram, how to make a diagram about the eternal past and future of art. That's what I was, how do you call this? Ontdekken? Discovering. I was thinking about what is the future of art, and I discovered while I was working, that I was making a diagram of the eternal past and future of art. So these lines are symbolizing attraction and repulsion. Look, you have here attraction and repulsion. That means you have in art you have different currents, different purposes. That is what this painting is saying. You have in a certain period you have the people strive for beauty. In certain periods you have people who try to make paintings about concepts. You have people who make paintings that rely on imagination. Some people make paintings that rely on reality and on nature. So, and there is in the whole process of painting, that's why I call it idealistic diagram of the eternal past and future of art, you have the lines that symbolize attraction and repulsion and continuity and discontinuity in the purposes of art. The whole process is going forward and backward.
seems to me, as you explain this, a lot about your art is about explaining about art, or explaining at least certain theories you have about art in a way that can be perceived visually in your paintings. Now, this is sort of in keeping with your magazine, Statement Art. Could you tell us a little about Statement Art?
Yeah, I have it here, over here. We did invent this magazine. I did it with 3 people. Barry Vos, Caroline Nuchtere and myself. And we had, of course, a lot of collaborators. And we did invent this magazine. This is a magazine completely made by writers, visual artists. And we did it because we believe that there was less equality between art historians and I can't say it anymore. Historians. Art historians on the one hand, cultural people who are cultural in charge, people who are take the lead in the art world, and on the other hand, the artists. So what we're trying to establish with this magazine, that there was again the voice of the artists in opposition with the voice of the art world. So that's one of the main reasons why we did establish this magazine. And so far we did it well because we had a lot of good reactions.
One thing I noticed in the back of the magazine, it says, everything will become art. Is that true?
Yeah, but we believe that it is possible. But we believe that in the 21st century we'll have a lot of art that is not different from the world around us. So we believe also that a lot of people will recognize that in the future art is a statement, and a statement is art.
Jacques, thank you very much for being with us today.